The Arizona Wildcats win this game against the Utah Utes. Final score, Arizona Wild. The Arizona Wildcats win this game against the Utah Utes. Final score, Arizona Wildcats 67 to the Utah Utes 63. The Utah Utes were had 17 wins and 1 loss at home. So this was going to be a definite difficult battle for the Arizona Wildcats because they were playing away, of course, and but the Utah Utes didn't have one of their major players like they did for this game. I think it was leverage. They didn't have, the Arizona Wildcats didn't have, or no, the Utah Utes didn't have last time, and so the Arizona Wildcats were able to contain leverage from the Utah Utes. Leverage only had 7 points. He had 0 for 4 from three-point land, and he did pretty good from the line, though. He shot 5 for 6. Speaking of pretty good from the line, the Arizona Wildcats were pretty good from the line. That's one of the reasons why the Arizona Wildcats lost the game against ASU was because they shot so poorly. The Arizona Wildcats shot so poorly from the free throw land, and so this time they shot 73% from the free throw land, and Caleb Tarczewski had, he made every single one of his free throws, so he was on, he was on the money, and Nick Johnson had 6 for 7 from free throws, so he was doing really good, and Gabe York, Gabe York didn't shoot any free throws, but one thing that I did notice right in the beginning was that Gabe York, at first he was knocking down 3-pointers. He was dialed in with the 3-pointers very, very well, and so he knocked down his first 3-pointers, and then he cooled off. After that, he 3 for 6 from 3-point land. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson knocked down a 3-pointer, which is kind of interesting because, being a forward, he usually gets something inside the key, or maybe, usually he gets rebounds and stuff like that inside the key. But Rondé Hollis-Jefferson had 13 points tonight, so that was pretty darn cool. He had a lot of important plays, a lot of putbacks, a lot of rebounds that were very helpful. He had 1 offensive rebound and then 3 defensive rebounds. But his rebounds were very, very helpful, and his play was very, very helpful also because he drew fouls. He drew fouls from the Utah Utes in the overtime, and that's one of the reasons why the Arizona Wildcats were able to win this game by 4 points in the end. Caleb Tarczewski had 10 rebounds, and just out of curiosity, the Arizona Wildcats did get out-rebounded by the Utah Utes. So Sean Miller's not going to be too happy about that. He's going to ask them to work on that. And the Arizona Wildcats have to play Colorado next, I think on Saturday. And that'll be interesting because, we just weren't really sure if the Arizona Wildcats were going to be able to win any games away But they did beat the Utah Utes tonight. Um, we shot Arizona Wildcats shot 42% from field goal percentage, so that was pretty good. I think against the ASU Sun Devils, I think they shot somewhere in the range of 30%. Let's see, the three-pointers, 41% from three-point land. Let's see, Nick Johnson knocked down a three-pointer. T.J. McConnell, I was really happy with T.J. McConnell because he ended up with 6 assists tonight and 0 turnovers. And that is more of the game that I would like to see him at. I mean, what I was thinking is something, because what happened with T.J. McConnell was in the beginning of the season, he would get 6, 7, 8 assists per game, and that was his average. But then as the season went on and people started to learn how to scout the Arizona Wildcats, then they started to play more defense on him, and actually the defense on the people that he was assisting to. So they were kind of forcing him to make those shots, and so his assist to turnover ratio, or his assist went down, but his points went up. The amount of points that he made went up. So what I was hoping was that he would still, keep his turnover ratio, turnovers down, and he had 0 turnovers tonight. But against ASU, he had 6. T.J. McConnell from the Arizona Wildcats had 6 turnovers, and he had only 2 assists. So he was definitely out of his natural environment whenever he was over over in ASU territory. But he made up for it tonight definitely by making 6 assists and 0 turnovers. I think that some of the reasons why he made some of the assists that he made were off to Gabe York, and whenever Gabe York was hitting those 3-pointers. Another thing that we saw was as T.J. McConnell had, as the amount of assists had decreased because of the other teams scouting them and daring him to make those shots, then he had maybe 3 assists, maybe 2 assists or something like that a game. But like I said, his points that he scored per game were going up. But at the same time, what I wanted to see was somewhere maybe 4 assists a game or 5 assists a game, but also have him score in double figures. And he did score in double figures tonight. He had 11 points tonight. I'm wondering if there was anybody with double-doubles. There was nobody with a double-double. Tarczewski had 10 rebounds, but he had 8 points, so he was close to a double-double. But and then Aaron Gordon fouled out with 8.5 minutes left in the game, so it was kind of interesting to see how the Arizona Wildcats were going to be able to respond against the Utah Utes without Aaron Gordon in the on the court. And just like Coach Sean Miller from the Arizona Wildcats said, that they were going to try and substitute as many players in, to try and increase the amount of substitution in there, and they did. They had Pitts in there. He tried Korchek in there. He tried Jordan Mays. Jordan Mays knocked down the 3-pointer right at the end of the first half, and for some reason, the Utah Utes, the referees took that 3-pointer away, and I mean it was really close. I mean the Arizona Wildcats really could have used those points, and I mean, even though with the points that he scored, the Arizona Wildcats would have been up by, I think, 13 points at half. Um, but I think that would have definitely helped Jordan Mays with his confidence, so that he could continue to battle, because these guys, the Arizona Wildcats, they're going to be facing a really, really tough game against Colorado on Saturday, and I don't know what how ASU went against Colorado tonight, but I'm sure Colorado has it out for the Arizona Wildcats, so it'll be a tough one. I kind of feel like we might get one win, and one loss on this trip to Utah and Colorado. So, but we'll see. So, I mean, uh, against Oregon, we only beat them by a very small amount, and then against Oregon State, then we killed them. So we'll just see. Maybe the guys just need to get warmed up, and Utah Utes were a good team to warm up against, and so maybe they'll do fantastic.